The AT Pro has 12 segments, or notches, of discrimination. Any combination of these segments can be switched on or off based upon your preference. There are two primary methods for modifying the notch discrimination pattern to reject unwanted items. The first method is to use the notch discrim and elim buttons to manually modify the lower scale's notch discrimination pattern. Use the plus or minus notch discrim buttons to move the target ID cursor to the left or right. Next, press the elim button to activate or eliminate the pixel located on the lower scale, directly below the target ID cursor. The second method of modifying the notch discrimination pattern involves the use of only the elim push button. When an unwanted target is audibly detected while hunting, simply push the elim button to create a notch at that target ID cursor. The next time the AT Pro encounters the same trash item, it will not produce an audible signal. One good use for notch discrimination is to find a specific item that you're looking for. An example of this would be, let's say my wife was outside and she lost one of her favorite gold earrings. Let me just walk through a little scenario here and just show you how this would play out. We've got a couple of gold earrings right here, and if she was to lose one and I still had the other one, what I would do is I'd want to scan this and see what this reads. So I'll just set it on the ground right there and I'll go over it. I've got a reading kind of around 56, 60. So I'm going to go in here and notch out what I don't want to find. I want to get down to that specific reading and look for that particular lost item. So what I'll do is put a notch either side of where I expect it to be. So I've got about where it hits and maybe a pixel or two either side, so I've got a little bit of range, because like anything else, it can change whether it's standing up or laying on its side depending on what its orientation is. I don't know how it was lost there. So I'm just going to verify kind of what I've got for my settings and basically bracket where I want that to be. And I'm going to run my iron discrim all the way up to 40 because I know I'm not looking for iron. This is reading in the middle of the road. So I've got this set about where I want it to be. Now, again, this is just a demonstration, but if my wife had lost the earrings, let's say she was over here on the swing and it was lost out there somewhere, I'm going to take this and I'm going to just pitch it over there and not know exactly where it goes, just as if I knew it's somewhere lost in this general vicinity. So here we go, I'll toss it over there in those weeds. And I've got my settings notched out to just one little bracket of where I think that should hit based on the other one that we still have. And I'm going to go in search of the lost earring using this notch discrimination. And you would probably work some kind of a pattern through here, go back and forth and crisscross the area really well. Use string if you need to make sure you cover the ground thoroughly. And expand out from there. If you don't find it where you think it's going to be, just keep expanding your search. And just keep it slow and careful. You know, I don't know exactly where I pitched it. It's somewhere in this weed bed or through these leaves here. And there we go. I've got something that's hitting right there in the high 50s, just like the other one did. And right off the end of this coil tip, there's my earring. So we've done this little demonstration here using notch discrimination to find a specific target. We knew what it was. We knew a very tight range of where it fell. We tightened up our discrim, just left on 3 of the pixels right around bracketing where we thought it would be. And we moved in and effectively found the item. You can use this for other items that you're looking for, basically just eliminating what you don't want to find and narrowing down the range of what you can find with that discrimination. The AT Pro also features a high-resolution iron discrimination adjustment. This level can be adjusted from 0, no iron discrimination, to 40, maximum iron discrimination. Use the plus or minus iron disc buttons to adjust the iron discrimination up or down. The small two-digit number above the words iron disc on the LCD indicates the current setting. One of the more important features on the AT Pro is its high-resolution iron discrimination. This is important out in the field when you encounter what's called target masking or iron masking, and that's essentially where you've got a good target that might be covered up or lying amongst a bunch of iron. So what you want to do is set the right amount of iron discrimination without setting too much. To demonstrate this, I've got a couple of targets. I've got a rusty iron square nail, and I've got this little pewter military button. Right now, my detector is in Pro Zero mode, and I've got an iron discrim setting of 20. So if I scan this nail, it's coming in 24, 26 in some cases, so I don't have enough to get rid of this. Now, my button target, nice and clean, it's reading about a 46, 47, so no problem. But yet I don't want to keep digging these iron square nails. So I'm going to run up my iron discrim a little bit higher. In this case, I've got it up to about 28 or so, and I pretty much lost the target. Now that's good. What I want to demonstrate though is if you put in too much iron discrim, so if I say had run it all the way up to 40 to maximum iron discrim, I've clearly gotten rid of that target, but if I had this button lying amongst iron, I'll demonstrate that by putting the button behind the nail and scanning it. Together, I'm really not picking up that target, so I've effectively masked out that good target by getting rid of the iron by using too much iron discrim, by going all the way to 40. So the trick to this, again, is to use just what you need. So I'm going to back it down. We were reading it maybe as high as 26, 27. So I'll run the iron back down to about 26 and try to scan it again. It's pretty well gone, maybe an occasional click or pop, but for the most part, it's gone. So now with just enough iron discrim set, if I put this button back underneath it again to simulate a button lying amongst iron, I'm still picking up a tone. I'm getting a target. Now it's reading in the 30s, and that's because of this iron masking that's going on. But I know that having gotten rid of that target in the 20s, something better than that is lying amongst the iron. So that's the trick, to still pick up a good sound, even in the worst of iron situations, by using only as much discrim as you need. That's the value of high-resolution iron discrim on the AT Pro. The AT Pro also includes an iron audio feature that can be used both in the standard and in the Pro modes. Iron audio allows you to hear discriminated iron targets, which would normally be silent. Simply press and release the iron audio button to switch this feature on or off. When it is on, the words iron audio appear on the LCD. The low tone for iron is normally heard for any target whose target ID value is below 35. When iron discrimination is used, all targets below the setting, in this case 20, are silent. Only targets between 20 and 35 will produce the low tone for iron. Iron audio allows you to adjust the range of your midtone. The midtone now starts at your point of discrimination, which is 20 in this case. With iron audio in use, the low tone for iron is heard for targets that ID below your discrimination point. To make sense of this, let's demonstrate with this iron nail. It reads as high as 29, so I'll run my high-res iron discrim setting up to 29 to lose this target. With iron audio off, this nail is not reported audibly at all, or is at best a very broken signal. When I turn on iron audio, everything below my setting of 29 is a low tone, so this discriminated iron sounds off loud and clear. By changing my midtone range using iron audio, anything I find now with a target ID value above 29 will sound as either a medium tone or high tone. Hearing the discriminated iron can really make a difference. The iron audio feature is even more impressive at identifying bottle caps. Since they are flat and have pretty good conductivity, They can trick some detectors into thinking they are a coin or some other good target. Start with the AT Pro in standard 0 mode and pass the bottle cap parallel to the search coil as if the bottle cap is lying flat on the ground. Note that the target response is consistent with the audio of a good target. Then switch the detector into Pro 0 mode and move the bottle cap past the coil again. Note the subtle low tones at the beginning and end of the target response, indicating a questionable target that might be made of iron. Finally, set the iron discrim to 35, switch on iron audio, and check this target again. The distinctive low, high, low response now indicates a target that is unmistakably iron. So now that you've learned a little bit about the tone ID with the AT Pro, let's do a real-time demonstration here with some different targets so we can look at the standard mode, the Pro mode, and then also using the iron audio and how the tone ID changes between some of those. The three targets I'll put down here are an old iron square nail, an old buffalo nickel, and then a large silver coin, so we can demonstrate the three forms of tone identity. We'll start in standard, and we're in the 0 mode. I have no iron discrim right now, so let's go over them. First, the iron nail. Low tone. Mid tone on the nickel. And then a bell tone as we get on the big silver coin. Now if I switch over to the Pro mode, let's listen to the difference. The silver coin, it's now a high tone instead of a bell tone. Buffalo nickel, still a clean medium tone. And the iron nail, still your low tone. Now let's go back over and check these items. If we'd set some iron discrimination, I'll run it up to about, let's say 25, and put the iron audio on, and let's go over it without the iron audio on the nail. It's almost gone, it's pretty well broken up. So to spot check that item, I put on my iron audio, and now I've got a distinctive iron audio sound. It's telling me that's a junk target that I've eliminated. But let's check the other two items with iron audio on. Medium tone target. Still sounds clean, still sounds like a good target. And then our big silver coin. Still sounds clean and clear, high tone. I'll switch it over to standard mode just to go through those again with the iron audio on. Bell tone is clean. Medium tone's clean on the nickel. And our iron junk item still sounds bad with the iron audio on. If I take it off, not much there, a couple of grunts here and there. So there we've listened to three different targets and the tones they make in both the standard mode and then also in the Pro mode. And then we also use the iron audio to come back over and check the iron content of one of the items that may or may not have been a junk item. So you heard the differences between those modes and then the ability to spot check one of your target items. Not all iron targets can be easily eliminated just by increasing your iron discrimination. This can be due to variables such as the target's size, its thickness, and its orientation in the ground. When you find a target with questionable or inconsistent target ID, use the iron audio feature to help determine if it contains discriminated iron.
Big iron.
To demonstrate how an iron target's orientation can change its target ID, let me scan over this rusty nail. Scanned parallel to the center line of the DD coil, it reads between 10 and 17. However, if I approach this same nail with it perpendicular to the center line of the DD search coil, the same target reads as high as 33. To avoid digging such an item, I have two choices. First, I can further increase my iron discrim to eliminate or mostly eliminate this target from all directions. Or I can simply switch on my iron audio feature and check the target. Because I can hear the discriminated iron, I know this target is composed at least partially of iron. Therefore, it is not a silver, gold, or bronze coin that I'm hoping to find, and I can just ignore digging it up.